Okay, hello there. My name is Claire Vernon, whatever. I'm part of On the Cusp's Zine team. There are 3 of us, and I do the layout design work for our issues. We're all submission based, so I basically have to put together a whole bunch of different, a lot of times very different, pictures, drawings, poetry, prose, nonfiction, whatever, all together in a cohesive way into a zine and send them your way for $5. Anyway, I'm doing this tutorial because I got some requests to have some tips, some basic how-to guidelines for how to use InDesign to make a zine. So here we are. I'm in InDesign CS 5.5, pretty damn similar to 5, and I have no idea how similar it is to 6, but I'm guessing it's just as similar as 5.5 is to 5. This is what you're going to get. If this doesn't show up, you can do the same thing here, new. Alright, so we're doing create new document. Book and library will give you predetermined things that I don't even know what they mean, and I don't ever use them, so don't worry about it. First of all, you want to have facing pages checked. Your basic document presets are going to be here. You can always go into file and change them here. The same thing will pop up. But page size letter is what we use. Legal is 8.5 by 14, which means that it's extended a little bit for whatever reason, better ratio, proportions, whatever. We use letters, so that's what I'm going to use right now, but whatever you're using, go for it. Orientation, this is how it will look on your layout on the screen, and you can always switch it later. It's just easier to see it this way. Do it. Margins, these are all really up to you. I leave it at 0.5 because our printer has I think a 1/4 inch like outside margin for printing, so it won't print full bleed, which means it won't print the image all the way to the edge of the paper. It's impossible. I like to leave it at 0.5 because I tend to like to break my own rules and just be able to go outside my margin lines, but obviously up to you. Bleed, this is helpful if you are planning on doing full, like you're gonna end up cutting your pages down so they are full bleed, or yeah, that's pretty much why you would use this. I used this before in a zine when I was cutting down, and I was doing like it ended up being like maybe 5 by 7-ish, but I only had 8.5 by 11 in my printer, so that's what I did. You do a bleed, and I did it on the top, so I knew that it would be printing on 8.5, so you could make the line show up at maybe like 7 if you want to cut 1.5 inches off or whatever. I'm not doing that right now. Okay, open. Maybe. Palettes are these things that pop out to the side. It can be loosed. I have mine docked right now because it's more organized, and I like things to be very organized when I'm doing this. If any of these aren't there, you can go to Window and find them right here. I have my own workspace set up right here called Chicken. Essentials, typography, whatever works just as well if you don't have one set up. Definitely want pages, definitely want links, definitely want character for fonts if you're doing any writing, whatever, and probably want layers, probably want some of these other ones, but it's all personal taste. So first things first, you start with pages, and you automatically start with 1 page because your document was set to have 1 page on your little your setup right here, number pages. If you know how many you're gonna have, go for it, but I never do. So as you can see, after page 1, it will start adding them into spreads because most documents end up being printed. Like for print, you end up folding them, so you want to have an open-faced document. I guess first things first, we'll go through the master page. This is basically the template that will be applied to the rest of your document. So page numbers go here. If you have like title, that an author or something, like you're doing a book and you want that on every page, go for it. We're going to do page numbers just because I always do that and it's pretty helpful for any zine organizationally. As you can see, T and just click and drag, it will create a text box. Page numbers are a special character, maybe. Yeah, markers, current page number. In your master page, it will show up as A, but on your actual page, it will be a number because this is just acting as a template right now. Another nice thing about InDesign is that you can double click these little anchors and it will resize automatically. So here's this. You want to make sure you leave space if you're going into double digits for it to add another digit. Otherwise they will be on top of each other, which I figured out the hard way. You can just copy and paste this over to your other side and do a little paragraph, align right, and it will be beautiful. So then if you go back to your pages, you can look on here and see that we have a 2 and a 3. Jesus Christ, let's zoom out. Whatever. Got it going on. You can put these anywhere, I guess, if you want them up top. You have to go back to your master. If you want them up top or you're doing this way, you can do this. Helpful hint, if you're rotating something, you can just go click outside the anchor points and just drag. And if you hold down shift, it will do 90-degree increments, or 45-degree increments, I guess. So if you're printing this, the zine I did all my photos for last semester, I printed this way. Jesus, let me move. And I actually turned this the wrong way. Gee, okay, fuck it. You know what I mean. There's our little page number. I'm just gonna move it back because whatever. Okay. To put things into InDesign, you are using links, which it's different from a lot of other copy paste methods in other programs. You're essentially not putting the file into the file. You are putting a link to the file in a folder somewhere else into your file. So you need to have your files organized and you need to know where they are and keep them there because it doesn't store the actual thing in your file. It will just disappear if you delete it and you can't do anything about it. So to put things into here, you're doing a place. Command D on a Mac. This is where your links palette will come in handy, but here we go. I have all my stuff in this little folder called Zine. I have 2 text files in JPEGs. You can pick whatever you want. I don't know what these look like. I just picked some pretty pictures that I had saved. So this is allowing you to pick where the top left anchor will be. You can set what will be the thing right here. I like the left just because that's what I'm used to. So anywhere you place it, that's where it will go. It'll automatically do a size that it wants to. I don't really fucking know how it does that. Sometimes it'll end up huge. Sometimes it'll just be little like this. This is my scanned JPEG from Walgreens, so it's like 72 DPI, which sucks, but what I'm stuck with in the summer. So again, you can rotate. The way that this works, you are automatically placing a frame and your content is automatically going to be in the frame by doing a place. If you have a photo, you know you want to put a photo here, but you don't know what, like for filler, you can make a little frame over here that is just waiting to be filled. Same concept, just no content in it yet. So this has content. You can tell that by this little circle thing that shows up when you hover. If you double click this, if you single click the circles or double click it otherwise, it will turn this golden color I think that's default. I don't know if I've changed it or not. But it'll change colors, and that means you're adjusting the content within the frame. So as you can see, if I move this around, it will move outside the frame and not exist outside the frame. So handy tip, if you want to change the size of your photo, like I want this only on the single page, first you want to hold down Shift and do this because it keeps the proportions. But as you can see, I'm just adjusting the frame there. You have to right click here, do fitting, and fit content to frame. There you have it. What else? You can do the opposite for that too. If you have this and your file is huge, you can go fitting, fit frame to content. There you go. Full spread, whatever. Whoops. Oh, I got this ahead of time. Alright, maybe not. Whatever. Okay, so here we have page 2 and 3. Done. Oh, I didn't go over this, but the purple and pink lines are your margin suggestions. If you want to hide any of this so you can get a preview of what it'll look like printed, you can just hit W and it'll go to preview mode. If you want to do a little presentation mode where everything goes away except your spread, it's Shift W and you can scroll through your pages. This is what we do when I'm showing Wes and Rachel my finished layout. Okay, stop doing that, time machine. Alright, so there's that. I'll go through a vertical one just for shits. I don't have any. Oh, here we go. Here you go. I have guides turned on, smart guides. That's here. That'll tell you when you're centered, when you're lined up with other things, blah, blah, blah. It's pretty helpful if you're going for a clean design, but you can always do your own thing too. I don't know. Alright, what else? I guess we'll do some text just in case you're doing that kind of thing. I'm going to start with a short file. This is just a short poem called The Hurricane by William Carlos Williams. As you can see, I just placed it, same process as before. It creates a text box based on the margins in this case because it's a rich text file. If you have a doc, like a Microsoft Word file or whatever, it'll adjust to that, the formatting you have there. But again, you can do this. Whoops, rich text, keep that. Okay. And you can select, I don't like this. I don't think you can do that in this. Here we go, William Carlos. Is that his name? Yeah, wow, that's weird. Okay. So, you can do formatting in the character palette. Helpful type hints, keep this on optical, it looks better. This is your leading, which is the space between lines. Here you can see it's kind of, there's some extra space there, which whatever, it's poetry, it doesn't really matter. This is your kerning, which is the space between letters. If you have all caps, make sure you pay attention to this because it will look like shit if you don't. But otherwise you can typically leave it alone. Paragraph is, if you have something that's hyphenating and you don't want it, that's on the paragraph palette for some reason. I don't really know why. Probably because it applies to paragraphs more than just characters. That makes sense. Other things, size, form, typeface, maybe. We use Baskerville in On the Cusp, so that's what we do. I have a character style set. Oh, I don't have it for this. Whatever. But if you know you're gonna use the same typeface setting for the whole zine, you can set a character style, which is pretty helpful. You can have everything set, and it will basically be a template that's applied to all your text. Anyway, there's that poem. I'm gonna bold this or something. Make it a little bigger. some space. Sorry, I'm just being anal right now. There you go. Next, I'm going to do a poem that goes beyond just a single spread. This is my favorite poem in the whole world, called Litany, where certain things are crossed out. Oops. It's by Richard Seiken, and it's very long, but it's so good. So it'll be on my zine right now. But in InDesign, when you're placing this poem, as you can see, it won't all fit. So you get this little red crosshairs square thing. I don't have enough pages right now. So that just means that it's not all fitting in your frame. So you can click that, and it will continue it where it left off. And all these frames will be linked, connected to each other, so that if you adjust your frame in one of them, it will adjust in the rest of them for that. This is really fucking long. Okay, so I'm going to demonstrate that. Like, I don't like the way this is finishing. These lines need to be together. And this poem's going to be hard for this because he does such brilliant formatting that it's kind of really difficult to feel bad. I don't feel bad because that... Talking to myself here, sorry. Just thinking about how the book designer had to deal with all this formatting, and that's kind of a hassle. Half the reason we have a page limit is because it encourages people to be precise. I'm talking on the cusp there. But anyway, there you have it for text that goes beyond that. If you want to just write text straight into InDesign, you can just do a text box. Be like, hey, this is a zine made by Claire Vernon for your benefit. Find me at clairev.tumblr.com OTC. And then you have that. What else? I guess I can show you the links palette. I didn't really do that very well. If you do end up deleting something, moving something, whatever, you'll get a little caution sign symbol status thing telling you that it's screwed up. You can click this relink, and it's not wrong right now, but it'll open a folder to show InDesign where you moved the file to. So these are still on my desktop in part of Zine, but it's still there, so it's already there. But I want to do this one instead. There you have it. You can just change it really quick. I think that is pretty much it. If you're doing, I know Mike, who asked me to do this mostly, if you're doing a photo zine that's only photos, I would recommend doing full bleed just because it looks damn good. So in this case, you could use the margins as that, and it wouldn't be a problem. You can just fit it to the top. You just want to pay attention to the top, bottom, and the outside lines. So this is your limited frame that you can do. Fitting. So you'd have some border here, but whatever. I don't know how you want it to look. I think that's pretty much it. I can't think of anything else you need to know in the actual program. If you have questions, ask me. No problem. When you're packaging, or not when you're packaging, when you're printing this, you want to use their print booklet feature. It's the most brilliant thing that InDesign has. And if you're doing a zine, you want to have all your pages in multiples of 4. So right now I have 11. You need to have 12. Print booklet. Okay, so here we have this. I'm printing to a PostScript file because I want to have a PDF of this to be able to use. PostScript is just, I don't really know what it even is, but it's a file that is basically telling it can be used with a lot of different programs, computers, whatever, to print. Within this print booklet thing, if something is fucked up, it'll show up in preview and there'll be a warning here, telling you probably that your paper is too small or whatever the hell, I don't know. You can do print settings here if you want things, if for instance you have bleed, full bleed, you can do bleed marks, crop marks, whatever. A lot of this stuff is just nonsense that you don't need to mess with. But, booklet type you want to have, if you're doing basically you're folding it in half, stapling it. Stop doing that. And I honestly don't even know what these other ones are. You could probably Google that if you need to know. And so when you hit print, this is actually going to save it, and a little thing will pop up. This will be para Zine. NPS is PostScript, so I'm saving this to my desktop. And then hide. Here's my Zine file. I guess Macs do this automatically. It translates it. But you can see that everything is like in halves because you're going to put it together. That looks good. But the way I usually do this is I just, you want to open it. I don't know if you even have it, if anyone else has this program, or if it's just from like my school. But Adobe Distiller, or Acrobat Distiller will automatically create an actual PDF out of the PostScript file just by magically doing it. So then I have para Zine PDF. This is, I should put something here. This is the first page. So when it prints, I should probably do an actual video of this just to teach people, but whatever. You're just going to have to imagine this. You want to have page 1, and then the way that the order that this is in is the order that you need to print on. So page 1 and 12 will be on the front side of page 2 and 11. And then, that's not true. Wait a second. That is true. Yeah, and then 3, you go in the order that it is in, basically. And then oh god, this is really intense to describe. I don't know how to explain it. You can't, just do it. Just fucking do it. And you can figure it out. I fully believe it's not that difficult. So that's pretty much it. Further questions, feel free to ask. I'm a very nice person. I won't think you're stupid, because I am very stupid a lot of times with InDesign. So, hope you enjoyed. Hope this helps. Maybe I'll do another one with more advanced stuff, but I hope this can get you started. Adios.